Kakalosh Boker Or, Bekiim Bahalacha 6, day 38, page 97, Siman Kuf Samechet 158, Kuf Nun Chet, sorry. Kuf Nun Chet, Seif Nun Hey, Nun Daled, 54. Okay? We're talking about now eating wet meat. האוכל בידו בשר או עוף שיש להם רטיבות מים תופך ממנו להפיח. If you're going to eat, whether it's going to be meat or chicken, which is a little bit moist, that you have enough to touch it and touch something else and make it wet. That's called tofech menat lapiach. How does he say it in English? With his hands, the food, the water, the surface. It doesn't actually explain the way that it is. Okay. Shelo betoch ha if it's not within a seudah, you have to do netilat yadayim kedin tibulo b'mashke. Let's see 45. This halacha applies only if someone is eating the meat with his hands. But if you're using a utensil, so then you don't need to. Okay, next. 55. Right? Nun hey. הנוטל ידיו בדבר שטיבולו במשקה ונמלח לאכול פת, יחזור ואיתו לידה בלא ברכה. What happens right now if you did netilat yadayim for tibulo b'mashke, and all of a sudden you say, you know what, I'm going to eat bread. So you have to do again netilat yadayim, but without a bracha. ונכון שיטנף את ידיו, right, make your hands dirty, and then again you're going to be able to make a bracha, just like we learned above in halacha, yud gimel. Okay, preface. Page 99. The proper utensil for netilat yadayim. זאת אומרת, הכלי בשביל נטילת ידיים. The mitzvah of netilat yadayim is to pour water onto the hands from a container of least רביעית. זאת אומרת, הכלי חייב להיות מינימום, מינימום רביעית. אתה איתי? Okay. Our sages taught, חכמינו, right, לימדו במסכת חולין, that the water must be poured from a utensil luckily termed a keli, and that it has to contain at least a רביעית. זאת אומרת, it has to be a utensil, plus it has to have minimum of a רביעית, meaning it can't be a small shot glass. Okay, the halachot gdolot explain that our sages compared to this to the water being used in the ashes of the paraduma. Just as the Torah demands that the purifying water to be placed in a halachic keli, the water used for purifying the hands through netilat yadayim must be likewise a keli. Alternatively, just like the water used has to be minimum of poured by a keli, right? So too, the same applies to netilat yadayim. That has to be done with a keli. Not every container is kosher for netilat yadayim, even if it has the status of a keli. The following halachot discuss halacha concerning various utensils found in the modern day household. So let's start. Siman Kuf Nun Tet. So this is 159. Okay? Halacha Aleph. From what do you do the keli? Mimma yasuya keli. En notlim layadayim ele bekli. So you could only use a keli. V'chol kelim ksherim. All the kelim are going to be kosher, whether it's going to be made from etz, from wood, zechuchit from glass, afilu kli galalim, or even it's going to be any type of dried earth. He says over here, kli avanim or stone, kli adama. Oh no, kli adama is anything basically. Dried dung. That's the Kli galalim. Kli avanim is stone. Kli adama is the dried earth. She'enem chashuvim kli klal yan kavlat tumah. Al kol panim kelim, but still it's going to be considered a keli and it's going to be kosher for netilat yadayim. Aval im lakach sfog balemayim, but if you just take a sfog, a sponge, v'sochep imenu al yadav, and then you squeeze it on your hands, it's not a good netilat yadayim because the sfog is not considered a keli. So since the sfog in itself, this sponge is not considered a keli, it does not help. Look in the 46, right? The Mishnah Brura. And the Kavachim Sofer explained that this means that a container made by molding natural clay into a desired shape and then drying it in the sun, even though such a container is not susceptible to become tameh, it still has the status of a keli. So if the clay container would be fired in a kiln, right? So then it would have the status of a keli cheres, an earthenware vessel, and it would be susceptible to become tameh. Either one is going to be kosher for the mitzvah of netilat yadayim.